Hi, friends. I'm Graham Smith.
And I'm Jason Spars.
We're here with Keller Williams today to talk about lead gen, talk about the different sources of lead generation.
That's right. There's so many ways that we can find clients for our business. And I think so many agents pigeonhole themselves in activities that they don't like to do.
That's right. That's right. And because of the number of different ways you can get lost in all of the different choices to lead generate. So we're going to tell you about some of our favorites where you get to pick what works for you.
The very first lead generation source we're talking about is events and parties. Now, I know a big limiting belief that a lot of us in this industry have around events and parties is that we can't afford it, right? The expense. Now, don't get me wrong. People love the big parties, the large galas, but you don't have to be that extravagant. Simplify it. Think about your interests, what you like to do, because I'm willing to bet a large contingency of your people share those same interests, right? These events we can put together can be seasonal. Mother's Day is right around the corner. What would it look like to host a bouquet building event for your sphere? There's some evergreen events you like to do based on your interests. So you like mountain biking. Great. Have a weekly ride with that you invite your database and your people to. You can host basketball tournaments, pickup hockey tournaments on a consistent basis. And guess what? Your real estate business can be the one and only sponsor for those events. See, consistency is key with these, and attendance isn't even that important. It's the invitations. It's the event, it's the photos, it's the social media, and it's the thank you follow-ups for afterwards. And I'm gonna take it even simpler for y'all for one last idea. If you don't wanna wait for a season or wait for a holiday, dinner parties. What would your business look like if once a month you hosted a dinner party, invited 10 different people from your database, not to talk about real estate, but to talk about life, because life dictates real estate sales. Another thing to think about when we talk about our lead generation is what does our market demand of us? What do people think of when they think of Minnesota? They think of lakes, and I think that's pretty great. What would your business look like if you created a subcategory of lake life, right? Second homes, vacation homes. You could build a network of vendors for seasonal maintenance to help your cabin owners maintain their properties during those cold months. That could be a huge value proposition and help you carve a nice little niche in the lake community around the Twin Cities metro area.
Yep. One of the time-tested ways that realtors have gone after getting new business is something called a geographic farm. Now, a geographic farm is defined by boundaries. Take a neighborhood, take adjacent neighborhoods. You're going to want to find an area that you are going to market to over and over and over again to become the neighborhood expert. Now, here's the thing. Historically, agents have gone ahead and sent mailers to those maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. Maybe they throw an annual party or send out some sort of an annual, here's the state of the market in your neighborhood. And that's all they do. That is child's play, and you will never take market share in a neighborhood by doing only that. What you're going to want to do is follow this plan. Now, I'm going to give this to you in an abbreviated version. Bear with me. When you start a geo farm, you're going to want to find a space with 250 to 500 homes. The other thing you're going to want to look for in that geographic area, is there enough turnover year over year? If you've identified a neighborhood that has 2, 3, 4, 5 homes that sell a year, that's not enough. There's just not enough business to go around to make this worthwhile. So you want to make sure there is enough business in there. The second thing you want to do is do a little bit of a market study on the neighborhood. Find out if there's anybody right now that has market share. Maybe there's another realtor that's doing 10 to 15% of all the closings. Guess what? They have market share. That is now your competition. Learn everything you can about them because you're going to be in competition with them. Find out what they're doing, how they promote properties, what they're doing to market properties, how they price properties, how they're getting their name in front of people. Find out from the neighbors what they think of that individual because they will be your competition. You're going to want to target this as your targeted amount that you want to take from the market. Once you achieve 10 to 15%, you now have market share of that neighborhood. You now can consider expanding the boundaries. Now you're going to want to send 12 mailers to them. The mailers can be just about anything you want. You get to get creative here. They can be seasonal holiday mailers. They can be recipes for things. They can be events. They can be invitations to your events. They can be market data for the neighborhood. Mix it up. Have some fun with it. You are also going to want to door knock this neighborhood twice per year. Now, I know that's a big ask, but this is really what's going to bring it home. This is what's going to humanize you as the expert for the neighborhood because you get to meet the neighbors. You may want to wrap this into something at the bottom that I'm going to share with you in a minute. You want to throw 2 to 4 events a year. Do anything from pumpkin events to maybe holiday tree events to adopt a puppy or fund the local animal shelter events. Do them in the neighborhood. Use that door knocking opportunity to go ahead and leave behind invitations to invite the folks to those events as well. You're going to want to start a social media page. Start a social media page about that neighborhood. You own it, and post a ton of content. Talk about the parks, talk about the shops, talk about the restaurants, talk about the parkways, talk about the walkways, talk about the bike lanes, talk about everything there is to know about that neighborhood. Post a ton of things about it and invite other people from the neighborhood to post things on there as well. You're going to want to circle prospect. Circle prospecting is something that we do where we get access to the phone numbers of a neighborhood, and you're going to want to call that neighborhood twice per year to, again, invite them to events, tell them about your social media page, all of the above. If there's ever an expired, a canceled, a for sale by owner in the neighborhood, you call it or you go door knock it. Introduce yourself as the neighborhood expert. Let them know that I'm the neighborhood expert, Graham Smith. I saw that your home came off the market. I'm just curious. Are you interviewing realtors to go back to the market? You may just get more business than you ever thought. Whenever you do have a listing in the neighborhood, hold neighborhood exclusive open houses. Invite only the neighbors to come. Maybe you're going to hold open houses Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 2, 12 to 4. Do one Friday from 5 to 6, 6 to 7 in the summer. Invite the neighbors 1 hour. You get to talk to them. They all want to know what's going on in the house. Again, you're becoming the neighborhood expert. And last but not least, I know this overlaps with events. If that neighborhood does a national night out, by all means, be there. Go talk to people. Bring a plate of cookies. Bring something. Leave behind cards. Again, you are the neighborhood real estate expert. If you're going to do a geographic farm and you're not doing these things, you're just throwing money down the drain. Because the reality is, here's the thing about a geographic farm nobody tells you. It usually takes 12 to 24 months for this to take root. You may very well have to invest this time and invest money into a geofarm before you see the actual returns that you want from 1 year to 2 years. So it can be expensive, it can be time consuming, but I'm telling you, it can be so lucrative you don't even know.
Now I want to talk about hosting seminars. Just think about it. If your goal is to establish yourself as the local real estate expert, what better way to establish that than to teach how to own real estate? It's not just the event itself. Of course, it's going to be a high-touch, valuable hour for anybody who attends, but all the marketing, all of the advertisements you do leading up to that event only serve to establish yourself as the local real estate expert in your people's minds. I also want to address the biggest fear around hosting these seminars is what if nobody shows up? Good. I love it when nobody shows up to my seminars because I marketed it. People understand I am an expert in this resource. I get an hour back in my day, and not only that, but I've got a list of 12 names of people who I know are interested in learning about real estate. I have their phone number, I have their email address, and the very next thing I do is call that list. So sorry you couldn't make it. I'd love to sit down with you and teach you a little bit about what we talked about. Friends, that's an appointment. It's as simple as that.
All right, friends, you're going to want to create a vendor list. You're going to want to create a vendor list of cultivated folks that you work with that you can refer to your clients at any given time. Whether you're working with them on an active purchase, an active sale, or maybe it's down the road and they're asking you for a little advice. You're going to want to put contractors, home inspectors, lenders, insurance providers, title people, everybody you can think of on this list. And over time, as long as they give great service to your clients, you're going to keep them on the list. This is an opportunity. Your clients want this from you. Trust me. It's one of the most valuable things we hear from our clients that we provide on an annual basis. When we're in the transaction, they need a lot of these folks. But even after the transaction, when they're living in their home, they may ask you, look, we're looking to do a little bit of renovation. We're looking to potentially take out a loan and add on to the house. Do you have a good banker? Do you have a good contractor we can talk to? You want to be all things real estate to them so they contact you. And this allows you to feed them, put them in touch with qualified people so you know that they're taken care of. This allows you to feed the vendors that you like business so they can stay in business. And the most important thing about this is you get to go back to your vendors on a quarterly or annual basis and say, look, we've referred 5, 10, 15 clients to you over the last quarter, over the last year, and we haven't seen any referrals back. We just want to make sure we didn't do something wrong. Can you refer us somebody today? We're going to need a referral this quarter. Think about it this way. If you as a realtor got one referral from every single vendor you work with right now over the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, how much business would that be? I bet it would be a lot. It might be 10 or 20 transactions. Give it a try.
Now, I've got a really revolutionary idea. Mailers. Just wait, hear me out. I'm not talking about golden letters, right? Here's the play. Find a listing in a condo that your brokerage sold recently. I would mail a just sold to every single unit in that building. Now, you might be thinking, no one's going to respond. That's not the point. Here's what's almost certainly going to happen. In about a week, you're going to get maybe dozens of returned postcards saying, return to sender, no one's occupying this residence. Those are your leads. You just found yourself a handful of property owners who aren't living in this property, and you do not have tenants in this property. And I'd be willing to bet if you can find their phone number via skip tracing, and if they're not on the do not call list, they'd be more than open to a conversation about how you can help relieve their mortgage payments, taxes, or those dreaded HOA fees. That's how you get a listing. Here's a thought: digital retargeting. Now, before you tune out, you don't have to be a tech person to do this, and if you don't know what this means, I am sure you've experienced it. I know anyone watching this video has clicked on an ad or visited a website, and all of a sudden, that product or that service is all over your timeline, all over your web searches. That's digital retargeting. Every business does it. Why don't you? Now, maybe it's because you don't know how. Cool, neither do I. But I know vendors and I know services who will do this for you. Homes.com, for example, for less than a couple of $100s a month, they can help you digitally retarget your real estate business to consumers all across the Twin Cities market, making sure that your face, your listing, your website is across the board on their newsfeed, on their web searches, so when they think of real estate, they think of you.
Let's talk about open houses. I know a lot of folks have either told you, or maybe you're one of these people that believe open houses don't work. And I'll tell you this, whether you believe they don't work or you believe they do work, you're right. Okay, this is all about showing up with the right mentality. My team over time and the teams that I train and coach have done more business from open houses. Many of them, they have their number one lead source from open houses. They close an insane amount of business from open houses, so I know they work. But here's the thing, if you're just showing up 20 minutes before, 10 minutes before, 5 minutes before, sitting down at the kitchen table and doom scrolling, you're not going to have a lot of success. This is our 10-point plan. What you're going to want to do is on Monday, you're going to schedule that open house. You're going to put it into the MLS so it gets disseminated out to all of the other real estate websites. On Tuesday, you're going to put a static social media ad out there. Open Saturday. Maybe it's a picture of the house. Maybe it's a carousel. Open Saturday, Sunday from this time to that time. On Wednesday, you're going to go out door knocking. You are going to bring flyers that you're going to leave behind in the doors or hand as an invitation to the person that answers the door. You are going to coordinate with a lender. Why? Because that lender is going to be on site with you at the open house. Why? For many reasons. One, safety. It's always good to have two people at an open house. Two, if it happens to be a banger, you can divide and conquer. You've got two people on the same team able to talk to everybody. And you know, if you've ever been at an open house with a ton of people, you cannot talk to everybody. But here's the thing I love the most. Aside from dividing and conquering, aside from the folks that want to talk about interest rates and that, let's say, hypothetically speaking, somebody tells you they're represented. We're going to just trust that and we're going to let it go. But how many of those people are really represented? You and I both know a percentage of them aren't. You and I both know they're just saying that to get us off their back. No problem. Your lender may connect with them. Your lender may develop a bond with them, and your lender can do an end around and put them back in touch with you for a second opinion. It's a nice way to just up that conversion rate. You're going to put a social media video out on Thursday of you in front of the house or a team member in front of the house or that lender in front of the house inviting everybody. Get yourself some merch. I don't care what it is. If it's pads, if it's pens, you could do coffee mugs, you can do stress balls. There's so many things you can do. Get yourself some merchandise with your brand on it that you can hand out to folks at the open house. You're going to want to put an obscene amount of signs out, not just one on each corner, not 2, 3 signs. Think about 15 signs. Think about 12 signs. Think about 20 signs. They're all going to have your branding on them. We go out and put them out on a Friday. We put them out so that we can have people driving around on Friday afternoon and evening, going to the house, seeing the shingle that says open Saturday, open Sunday, so they know to come back, and the whole neighborhood sees it. If you're in a walkable neighborhood, consider the coffee shop idea. Go to the local coffee shop and say, look, I'm gonna be holding an open house. I'd love to offer your coffee. I'll pay for it. Would you do me a favor? Can you tag us that we're gonna be at the open house? Can you promote us too? We'll collaborate with each other on social. And do you mind if I drop off a stack of flyers here inviting your patrons to come? They're going to say yes. Balloons, I know it's ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous. I've hated balloons, but they work. They work. You put balloons on a sign on the major thoroughfare, every single time people walk in, they say they saw the balloons. It works. And last but not least, you want to collect people's contact information. I know it's hard. I know a lot of people give you the wrong info or fake info. Put a giveaway together. Maybe that giveaway is a gift card, a gas card. Maybe the giveaway is a television. Maybe you're going to say, we're going to give away at the end of the month for everybody that came to our opens for the month, a Yeti cooler. Trust me, they're going to give you all of their information for a Yeti cooler, and it's an opportunity for you to follow up with them and see if you can gain their business. That's a 10-point plan that works for opens. You don't believe me? You don't have to. We do it, and it's one of our largest sources of business.
Got another idea for you. Remember, there's 10. This is going to be really groundbreaking stuff. Video spotlighting businesses. The trick is, it's not your business. It's other people's business. I know we all have local businesses we love, we cherish, and we genuinely want to support. What would it look like if you had a weekly video, a monthly video, whatever the cadence is, spotlighting one of your favorite local businesses? You could use this for social media content. You could email it directly to your database. But it doesn't just stop there, right? Of course, that information is valuable and people are going to love to see you supporting your community, but those small business owners are also going to appreciate the support. This will give you an incredible opportunity to offer special value propositions to the folks in your database, your clients, and your customers. What would it look like to go into a business and say, hi, I'd love to do a quick video spotlight. I love what you're doing here. I want to support you. By the way, do you have any standing discounts, maybe 20% off service that I could offer to my clients, to my people? All of a sudden, you've turned this valuable business spotlight into an opportunity to give even more value to your people, the people in your database, the people in your sphere.
All right, my realtor friends, I'm going to talk about a lead generation source that I don't think gets enough attention, and it's referrals out of state. We live right across the border from Wisconsin. I hear all the time, people are asking me, are you licensed in Wisconsin? Hell no, I'm not licensed in Wisconsin. I don't want to drive all the way over there. But I do have trusted referrals over there that I can refer clients to that are in need of Wisconsin real estate needs, right? Here's the other thing though, it doesn't stop there. There's 49 other states around the United States. We have relationships in every single state. We have people that we know. I've been around for a while. I've known a lot of folks that have moved around the United States. They have needs in other states. I want to be the real estate person of choice for my entire database, whether you live here or not. So I tell people all the time, if you're looking to buy, if you're looking to sell, maybe you're looking to invest in your market. Of course, I'm not going to fly there because I don't know your market, but I know the top players in your market and I'd be happy to put them in touch with you. If you don't know how to do that, you want to get together with a real estate referral resource that you can meet the top producing agents in every single market. At our office, we have access to that information at just a click of a button. You can find out who the top agents are in any market, any city, who's doing business right now, and I can put you in touch with them. And guess what? We collect referral fees on that. It's a great way to supplement income in a real estate business. Consider it. We just shared a few ideas on how you can launch your real estate business and get it off the ground. But truth be told, there's an infinite amount of ways to do this.
And the best way we've found to do the job is to focus on what you do best. What are your natural skills? What are your natural abilities? What is your superpower? And how can you find real estate leads by exercising that?
And I couldn't agree with you more, Jason. That's the key to this business. Don't spend time doing the things you don't like. Pick the things you like. Go all in. Make a plan.
Fair, because if you don't, right, and you commit to doing things you don't like to do, then all of a sudden you don't like your job. And I think we all left a job we didn't like to get into real estate. Right. Why would we want to end back up in that same spot?
That's right. If you're curious to how we dive deeper into this, how do we measure return on investment? How do we measure the efficacy of not just our money being invested in these lead sources, but our time? Jason and I are here to talk to you. This is what we train on every single day. And we're not training on theory. We're training on two folks that have built giant businesses right here in this metro, and we're sharing that info with you.